Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. So we're February the 4th, yet another Sunday has come around so fast. I don't know if I can keep up with how quickly the weeks keep passing. Well, if you are out there joining me, perhaps you go ahead and put in the live chat, that column on the right hand side, to let me know that you're there and where you're joining me from. I'd really love to know I'm not just talking to myself today. And while you do that, I am going to just share with you what I think we're going to do today. Now, this is one of the new paper packs in the mini catalogue that runs from January through April for 2024. And you can see that they're really lovely sort of neutral coloured papers. And on one side they're sort of plain printed, and then on the other side they're foiled with this beautiful gold foiling on them. So I wanted to share those with you. Now they're called Nature's Sweetness, and I did cut these pieces down so that I wouldn't be struggling with huge great big 12 by 12 sheets, but it is 12 by 12 sheets, and you get 2 of each design in a packet, so there's lots there to make some beautiful projects with. And I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to paper, decorative paper. I always look at something and think, oh, that'll be fabulous for a special project, and then I never want to cut into it. So it's a personal quest of mine to keep up with using my papers. And if you follow my blog, you'll see that I'm getting quite good at using all my pretty papers. So this is what I wanted to use today, and I thought we could do a fancy fold to try and use as much of these designs to show them off as much as we could. So I had a little thought about what I'd like to do, and let me get this piece out. So I got some copy paper. This is what I do with a lot of my projects. Oh, hello Christine, good to see you from Connecticut. Lovely. I really appreciate you joining me today. So this is just a piece of copy paper, and it measures 8.5 by 5.5. And I thought, well, we could have a fancy fold. It's like an offset gatefold. So that's how I kind of, and that way, if I do it on a piece of copy paper, I am not going to mess up my cardstock. I don't mind wasting a bit of copy paper, but I hate wasting card. Right, so I pulled out some of the colours that's in the paper, and we've got I think it's on basic white. This is printed onto. But it includes this pecan pie, which was a new colour we got last year. And then this is pebbled path, which is one of the new in colours for this year, well, last year through to next year. Oh, and Sherry B, hello to you too. Thanks for joining me. Oh, I'm glad that you did catch me here, Christine. So, how's the weather with you all guys where you are? We have a brilliant sunny day today here in North Texas, and it's like it was like in the mid-70s the other day. We did some yard work, and then we sat outside in the yard on January the 31st. It's just sort of crazy. Right. So my first decision is whether or not to kind of do this on a vanilla or a pebbled path. background. So I think I'm going to cut 2 and then see where we go from there. And if you've got any suggestions, then please shout out, Sherry and Christine. Let me know if you've got any thoughts, suggestions as we progress through, because this is a team effort. So we're going to cut this. I'm just going to cut a normal card base, and I have a feeling that this is a half sheet as well. Perfect. So when I did this, I scored at, oh, very sunny and in the 40s today. Oh, up in Connecticut. Oh, right. So did you get any of the snow that came in, a nasty storm that came in a few days ago, maybe a couple of weeks now? Time flies so fast. I lose track. I mean, I can't believe that we're already into February. Oh, right, so I'm going to put in a score at 1.5. And then I'm going to put another score line in at 4, like 4.25 away from that. Hopefully I didn't get my head in there. So if I roughly line that up on 4.25, that is 5.75. So that should give me that sort of offset fold. Okay, fingers crossed that I got it right. Hey, hey. So that's kind of my starting point. So I'm going to do the same on the piece of vanilla, and maybe we'll end up with 2 cards today. That's good. And then 5.75. Is that right? 1.5 plus 4.25. Yeah, 5.75. It's Sunday. My mental arithmetic isn't good. You did get snow, but same weather in Oregon as well, Sherry. Oh, right. Oh, now the snow's gone. Yeah, we had below freezing for 89 hours, which here in Texas is considered to be a major weather event. Where I come from in the UK, that would be considered to just be normal winter weather, but really Texas isn't set up to deal with snow and ice and stuff like that. And despite the fact that I did go and cover up my beautiful camellia bushes, they got frostbitten. So they won't flower this year, which is a bit disappointing, because the smell is absolutely divine when they do flower. Okay, so there's our starting point. So let's see what we've got in the way of panels to display our paper. All right, so we know that our measurement here is going to be like 1/4 inch short of 5.5. So everything's got to be 5.25 there. And so this panel is 2.75. So that's going to be 2.5 that way. And then I've got these lovely panels inside. Just a sec. Just a cotton picking minute. I have had a thought. How about instead of attaching the entire piece of paper, how about like this? How about if I attach a piece that's the same size as the card base and attach it to the inside here? And that way we'd get both sides of the piece of paper. Yeah, it is too bad that I've lost my camellia, no, gardenias, not camellias, gardenias. Camellias are far more winter tolerant, but gardenias just don't survive the cold. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use a piece the size of here. So it's just a case of sorting out. How about that? If I open, you see that's a bit on the dark side on the back. I love that. What about this gold? Let's see. Oh, now that's interesting, because if we have all that gold there, when we open it up, we're going to get this lovely design here. Okay, so we like that one. Now, on the other hand, we could use this one like that and have that coming out like that. You like the idea? Good. Let's make our paper do our work, do the work. Now then, this is interesting because this could make an interesting piece. Let's see. Would that cover the whole piece? Oh yes, look at that. How about, ladies, we put that to the outside, and then when we open, we get that lovely, I think it's a vanilla pod. What do you think to that? I'm kind of liking that. And then we could use another of the papers here and maybe like that. Okay. Okay, let's take it into our hands and do this. So this is 12. So if I cut this at 4, I'm sure that that's a good start. And then, so this is, oh, that was dumb. Okay, well, maybe we could do that. No, we could do that. And we could have that piece. Oh, well, that wasn't very smart, Cindy. Okay. Well, perhaps we could leave that piece like that. And then cut a piece. I should have cut that 4 1/4, shouldn't I? Maybe let's do it with the other one. Let's go 4 1/4. See if we like it better. 4 1/4. Go for it. Yeah, let's go for it. Right. What is it they say? Measure twice, cut once. Actually, I think I like it. I like this, that it's covering up the card below. It's just a snodge too wide. That's a technical term. Snodge. Just a merest tiniest bit too wide. Oh. See, it's still a tiny bit. Tiniest bit. Okay. I might have to get my head in here, ladies. I apologise if I do. There. I think we need to do a little bit of trimming here, because it's got to be a little bit furry. Well, if I tuck that piece in there, I think that's going to be better. So now we're going to cut this bit at 5 1/2. Let's see. If I take 1/4 inch off of each end, so that's 6. So if I take 1/4 inch off this end and 1/4 inch off of this end, then I like that. Everybody else liking that too? Okay, so that's one decision made. Now, I need a panel for here and here. And if I have just a piece of white card, I'm going to have to use white rather than vanilla, I think. If I have a piece of white like this, that's going to be my piece I'm going to write "To You, Love from Me" on. Okay, so if I've got that piece of white there, then we could do that, or maybe that, or should we bring in this stunning gold? Ooh, this one, we've got a lovely gold that side, and then that side, we've got that. Or we could put gold on the outside and the print on the inside. Yeah? Any thoughts? So that way I'm actually showing 4 sides of the paper. Right. Now then, what did I say? Measure twice, cut once. So that's 2 3/4. And I want 2 pieces of this paper. So that's 5 1/2. So if I cut a piece 5 1/2, and then I cut it down to 1/4 inch shorter. So I make that 5 1/4, like that, and then I'll just cut this piece into 2 pieces. Right. So if everything's worked, they're exactly the same size. I like the gold with the pecan print on the inside. This one, that's the pecan print, yes? Now this paper has got a direction, so I need to make sure I put it in the right way. I think I did something dumb again. Idiot. Needs to be 2 1/2, not 2 3/4. But we might use that strip. We're not going to lose that strip. 2 3/4, 2 1/2. It's Sunday. It is Sunday, so I can be forgiven for not concentrating. Yes. Oh, good. Right. Go gold on the inside or gold on the outside. Where should we go? Let me put this piece in. So we've got like the gilded side. So if we did that, we would have gilding on as we opened the card, and then that as we looked at it like that. I always mess up with your measurements. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to mess. I'm not going to waste these though. We're going to use those. It's not so bad if you cut them on the big side. It's when you cut it on the short side. And the other day when I was doing my live, I was using something a product which I googled up. It was like a pre-printed card front, and I was really upset, but I actually managed to use some of it. I don't know where I put it, but right. Now then, oh, I've put my finger in the adhesive. Nutcase you are, Cindy. Right, now I can see that this is just a slightly smaller. The white is slightly smaller than the, ooh, what's that? Than those gold strips. I am just going to trim off that tiny little bit. I think my tiny little bit of trimmings today is just a tiny bit too small. Need to have a bit more. There we go. Can you see now? I've got those match up on all the ends. And so I didn't waste my pieces. That's looking better, isn't it? Another opportunity to be creative, yes. Yes, there aren't mistakes, are there? There's just another opportunity to be creative. So we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And then we're going to attach this to there, and we'll do like that. Yes? Is everybody with me on that one? Oh dear. There's a dog walking by and just decided he was going to bark at somebody. Right. Yep. Okay, so I decided that we would put the plain one on the inside, or the non-foiled one on the inside. Is that the right way up? Well, it seems to be pretty random on there, so I'm not going to worry about it being on the right side. Well, I really appreciate you ladies taking the time to join me today. Now then, let's see. I'm not going to stick this in yet because I'm wondering whether or not to do some sponging. I wonder if that might be a good idea, just to do some sponging, to take some of this raw edge off. Anybody got any thoughts about that? Because it is a little bit on the raw side, isn't it? Okay, while we decide whether or not we just sponge the edges, we need to think about how else we're going to decorate this. Now, this stamp set with this die set actually coordinates with this paper, and one of the things that went through my mind was, and I've not actually used this die yet, is to maybe run these leaves down here, and I thought either to cut them out of one of the papers or to cut them out of the pecan pie. to sort of bring that pecan pie a little bit more into the card. So this, how wide is this? So this is like, let's see, this is like about 1.25 inches, and this is 1.5 inches. So if I cut a piece off of here, what did I do with my cutter? There we go. If I cut a piece off of here, if I cut just a 2-inch piece like that, let's move everything out the way and bring in my machine. So for this die, I'm going to have to use my white base plate, the white adapter, and a plate on the bottom, and then these pieces. And then a plate on the top. Make sure everything's squared up. Let's see where we go with this. So this actually gives it texture as well. It's kind of got a bit of a an embossing piece in there. I don't know if you can just see that without me making you seasick. No. So how does that appeal? Does that work for people? Or should I, oh, because there we go, because that bit's going to go there. Or should I cut it in white? I think white will be a bit too stark. Yes? No, maybe? Right, we're going to go for it. Now the ideal thing would have been to put some adhesive sheet on the back of this, but I didn't think of it in time. And if you're not familiar with adhesive sheet, it's literally extremely thin adhesive, and it's in between two sort of layers of waxy paper, and you can attach it to the back of your card, cut with your dies, and then take the backing off, and you've got pre-adhesived elements for your cards. Yeah, now you see them, you think they look good there. Okay. Hey, I think we're on a winning streak now. Have you got any thoughts, ladies, about the idea of sponging some stuff? I'm going to have to press this down firmly just to make sure that it does. And then we just trim that bit off. See, this is a key fob. I put it on my scissors because I keep losing my scissors. They're always on my workbench but covered up by something. So this actually makes them far more visible, and I don't lose them quite so frequently. So, all right. So like this, we're good. We're going right. Now then, have I got, where's the pecan pie? Is that handy? No, maybe, I'm thinking that that pebbled path might be a bit dark, and I can't see I've got my pecan pie handy. So let's just, I've got a scrap here, which I might use, but if I've got some crumb cake, I think that's a bit too dark there. Here we go. Do you think it needs some vintaging, or shall we leave it clean cut? I'm not sure. I think it's kind of tones it down a little bit. Okay, all right, I'm going to go for it. Vintaging is one of my favourite techniques for cards. Normally I would sort of look to use vanilla because that kind of lends itself, but hey, this white seems to be working. A little sponging, yes, Christine, a little sponging would be good. That's what I'm thinking too. All right. So there we have, and I'm not going to stick that in just yet, because just in case I decide to do some stamping on it. And I'm not going to stick that in, well, I don't know. I'm doing too much thinking here, but all that white is annoying me. It is just annoying me. So I've got a blending brush out now. There. I think I like that better. I do like that better, especially on that white bit. There. Just pop a little bit round just to take the edge off of that whiteness. Okay. Now I'll stick it in. Right. Now we're going to commit ourselves. We're going to stick this in. Yes. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that, Christine. Now then. Making sure that that's the right way up, because that won't be the first time I got my paper upside down. I did that a while ago. I made a card with some fishy paper and stuck the fishies on upside down. And I didn't notice. It was one of the ladies who were watching noticed, and when I realised, well, I just couldn't stop laughing. It was just so funny. Oh poo. You moved. Okay. Okay, so it goes like this, and like this. Right, eventually that piece, right. So now we just need to finish it off somehow. Let's see, we have got well, we've got thanks for making me smile. Today is all about you. Oh, just a little note to say hello. That might be nice. And then I'll tell you what I did get out of my scrap drawer. Look, 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 look. Gold foil. Oh, gold foil. I wonder, let's do a bit of cutting out. And they've got all these lovely leafy bits. And if we cut a few pieces out of the, well, some gold, and we've got some pecan pie. Let's do some pecan pie. We'll cut those pieces. Where's my top piece? There we go. Alrighty. And there's my gold piece. We'll cut a little bit of extra gold out of that scrap because we don't waste anything in this house. And where did I put? We'll just take a little scrap of pebbled path. And maybe we'll do that and see if we can put one of the others on there. There we go. Oof. So I've used 4. Okay. Need to keep track of my dies. I hate the idea of losing one. Especially these little tiddly ones. I usually have a pot on my desk that I toss them in as I finish using them. So I know that they're all in one place. Okay. So we said that we like just a little note to say hello. Oh, today is all about you. Happy birthday. Well, okay. Happy birthday. We're going to do a happy birthday since I pulled that one out. And we're going to need some white card. And we're going to use that nice deep colour of pebbled path. There we go. That looks good. And I feel that we need something. There's this, I wonder if we can pick up on some of these images. Oh, I love this. Look at that. I really love that, but I'm not so sure I got anywhere to put it. And okay, let's use that as well. We'll use this one. And I just feel that there's not enough stamping on this card. We've got plenty of paper. but we haven't got enough ink. Okay, where did it go? Oh, there it is. See, I knew that there was a reason I didn't want to stick this in just yet. And I'm going to put that on my envelope as well. Like that. There. 3 little bits of stamping. But we have used plenty of ink, didn't we? Okay, now I'm happy to stick that in there. Yes, right. So this is one of those nice, luxurious cards. Oh, you have a... Oh, that's a neat idea. The magnetic board or... No, oh, I'll have to get my husband to look out for one. Do they like sell it in Home Depot or somewhere like that? Not Home... Yeah, Home Depot or Lowe's. I just figure that he's always in and out of that, my husband's, in one of those places. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a cotton picking minute. I've just had another thought. So, if you've watched me before, you know that I love dotty stamps. Look, there's a dotty stamp in this. There's a dotty stamp. There we go. Right, now no more prevaricating, Cindy. You've got to get this one finished. Otherwise, we'll be still here at dinner time. Oh, Harbour Freight. Oh, my husband loves Harbour Freight. Oh, there'll be no problem him wanting to go in there. So is it like a sort of a dish thing? Yeah, improvement stores. Yeah, is it like a dish? Right. Need to take those edges off of there, don't we? I think there's more than enough ink on this brush without adding any more, but it's just taken again the brightness off. So how about this? Or like this. I think I'm loving this card. I'm not entirely sure. I'll be giving it to anybody. Yeah. Oh, auto mechanics used for screws and nuts and other metal bits. Okay. I think I'll ask him to go and do a little recce for me. See if he can find something. Now that's too big. That's much too big. Okay. After me boasting about being able to find my paper snips, I've put them down somewhere and I can't find them now. Right, so I'm going to attach that and a little piece of gold like this. And I've managed to miss the paper. So if I did that like that, and then we can do the same up here. Come on, Cindy, you're all fingers today. And if we do like that, and then we can just tuck a few extra pieces in. And I'll do that in a minute, but I'm going to stick this down with some dimensionals. Excuse me. I think that's what my grandmother would have called a cup of tea cough, meaning it's time to have a nice cup of tea. Because I'm a tea drinker, I don't drink coffee. But how are we doing here? Today is all about you. Happy birthday. And I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of adhesive here. Pop that in there. And then I've got one more left, which I can pop in here. And you know, I don't, oh, I've got an extra, I've got an extra piece. Where shall I put it? Can't not use that. Oh, I'm glad you are enjoying this. And I think I'm going to have to put a tiny little bit of adhesive behind there because that's quite a big piece and it's flapping around in the breeze. So I don't think I need any more embellishment on that. I think probably I don't need any sparkle because we've got all that lovely gold on there. I think we're going to call that a day. So here we go. There's our card. And lovely leaf theme coming through. And we open up and we can see all that other lovely paper. Then we've got these pieces and these strips, despite my mistake, actually kind of pull everything through the card beautifully. And then there's some gold on the inside when everything else is open. Wow. Thank you, Christine. I'm glad you like it. I do too. I think, you know, it's a very simple fun fold, but we've been able to really showcase all of that stunning paper. Well, I'd like, oh, Gigi, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad that you liked the card. Okay, well, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I really, really do appreciate the time you choose to spend with me. I will be back next week at the same time, 1 o'clock Central. And if you have enjoyed the video, perhaps you go ahead, give me a thumbs up. And if you don't already subscribe, perhaps you do that and share my video as well. Well, once again, thank you sincerely for joining me. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye for now.